Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Wednesday night sports edition. And I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast show. How are y'all doing tonight? It's been a while, man. We were down. We were getting ready for season 2. And now we are in season 2. And, we just want to keep giving you the flavor. And it is our sports night. It is our Cultural Variety sports night that we bring to you on Wednesday nights. And we got a great show for you tonight, man. We actually do. We want to go right into NBA news tonight. There's a lot of stuff that's in the news. One serious thing that's actually in the news, and I'm just watching the old media and see how they try to present it to y'all, how they try to control the narrative, and how they may even possibly sleep it under the rug if you ain't paying attention. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and dive in on that. And again, this is season 2, episode 3, by the way. And I do apologize to our viewers. I didn't put that in our post earlier that this is episode 3, but it is. And we will go ahead and edit that a little later. How are y'all doing, though? How's y'all's Wednesday? Some people call this hump day. It's the middle of the week. They're trying to get to the weekend so they can either party or go to their kids' little football games or whatnot, Soccer moms is what they call them. Or football moms, soccer moms. Of course, fathers and boyfriends, y'all get out there and support those kids, man, even if they're not yours. Go out there and at least support, encourage, and just teach these young men, man. That's what it's about, and the young women as well. All right, look, I'm your host, Mashuma Saba, as I said earlier. And this is Coffee Talk Podcast, the sports edition. If this is your first time at the show, we are not like your typical sports show. No, we don't really care about who won the game, who lost the game. We don't really care about that. That's like old media. What we like to do here on Wednesday night sports edition is we like to go ahead and talk about the behind the scenes intricacies that goes on with our athletes in the world of sports. So we definitely want to bring you that type of flavor. But again, if this is your first time tuning into the show, we never start a show without giving it its flavor and its wise words. So tonight's flavor is mineral water. Yeah, I know sometimes you tune in and we may be presenting some type of wine, some type of smoothie, some type of liquor, and we have water as our flavor before. But tonight we're going to point out just some things about mineral water. That's right, mineral water, which is one of the 9 types of different waters, according to Healthline. .com. So today's flavors is mineral water. Make sure that you're keeping yourself dehydrated. And if you don't got no mineral water or whatnot, go ahead and pour yourself some wine, a smoothie, some purified juice, real juice. None of that fructose juice or anything like that. But make sure you pouring you some wine, some water, a smoothie, a cappuccino, or a coffee. Do what you do, but come on in, kick your feet up, and welcome to our humble home here at Coffee Talk. But yeah, tonight's flavor is mineral water. Why? Because mineral water is poured from spring mineral water. That's right. And mineral water is full of minerals that the body can't create on its own. And that's why we picked mineral water as today's flavor. What are some of the pros to mineral water or any types of water for that matter is that it also helps in the aid of digestion. So definitely use some of the mineral water right there. Again, mineral water creates some of the minerals into your body that your body's not producing on its own. So again, tonight's flavor is mineral water. And if you know that is one of the 9 types of water, Go ahead and list the other 8 in the comments. Definitely hit the share button, definitely hit the like button, and definitely subscribe here at Coffee Talk Sports Edition. So today's flavor again is mineral water. And also tonight's wise words before we get started, because we always give flavor to our show. Tonight's wise words come from a man that was born on August 2nd, 1924. He was born in the Harlem Hospital in New York City. He is an inspiration. He is a writer. He is an activist. He is a great mind. He is a critical thinker. He's someone that I admire, someone I know that you all will admire. There's no other than this great activist, again, great mind and great critical thinker uh, by the name of James Baldwin. James Baldwin's wise words is this: you cannot fix what you will not face. Is one of James Baldwin's quotes. You cannot fix what you will not face. And also, wise words for the night from James Baldwin is this: the place in which I have fit will not exist until I make it. The place in which I'll fit will not exist until I make it. Those are the wise words of Mr. James Baldwin, writer, activist, great mind, critical thinker. All right, all right, all right. So again, welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast Sports Edition. We're gonna go ahead and just dive right on in. I don't like the taste of this flavor, not the mineral water, but the story. Why? Because the story continues and continues and continues to pop up. And I'm not surprised by it. I think I get more uh surprised by the people that are surprised by the actions of some of these NBA owners out here. Tonight we're going to go ahead and discuss Phoenix Suns owner Robert Scarver. That's right. Phoenix Suns owner Robert Scarver, age 60, with a net worth of $800 million. He owns the Phoenix Suns basketball team. He was suspended for 1 year with a 1 year suspension and a $10 million fine. Why, you ask? You know why? Because he got to talking all that crazy shit. What they saying is that Robert Scarver created a workplace of bullying. He created a place of where he used on 5 different occasions, allegedly, racist language. He also used sexual inappropriate comments, allegedly. Um, and they're stating that he left his employees feeling uncomfortable with his words and his actions, you know. So the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver decided to step forth today at the NBA governors conference meetings, and he wanted to discuss Robert Scarver. Adam Silver stated that the reason why it's only a 1 year suspension is because there was many people throughout the investigation of Robert Scarver that spoke positive about him. He also stated that Robert Scarver also assisted the NBA officials in the investigation. So, because of that, Adam Silver felt like Robert Scarver should only get a 1 year suspension and a $10 million fine for using racist language, sexual inappropriate comments, workplace bullying, and making his employees just feel very uncomfortable in his words and actions. So, what came up was, well, hey, if he did that, why does he get a 1 year suspension and a $10 million fine? Whereas Donald Sterling, back in 2014, former LA Clippers owner, was banned for life and fined $2.5 million for his racist comments. Some of those comments actually included video footage of him discussing uh, in a racist monotone about Magic Johnson, his girlfriend, Robert Sterling's girlfriend, having you know having praise or respecting Magic Johnson the person, the athlete, and being a fan of Magic Johnson. But Donald Sterling didn't like that. He made some unremarkable comments about Magic Johnson and so forth that was videotaped. And so that's what caused the ban of Donald Sterling back in 2014. Well, some say, wait a minute, what is the difference between Robert Scarver and Donald Sterling? If Robert Scarver was doing exactly the same thing, the only difference here from our investigation here at Coffee Talk Podcast was that one, Robert Scarver assisted in the investigations, whereas Donald Sterling never did. Also, um, there was no finding, and this kind of startles me a little bit. It makes me question what this means. Y'all let me know as we discuss this. But they're saying that there was no finding in the NBA investigation of Robert Scarver, which which that let's say it like this: there was no findings in the investigation of Robert Scarver that there was racial insensitive language with intent to demean or derog a person. So, what's your thoughts on that? He was using racist language. So, what do you mean? He didn't use it in the intention to demean anyone. So basically, you're saying he probably was just walking around the office saying, "Yo, what's up, nigga? Hey, nigga, what's happening? Hey, you niggas better win tonight. Hey, CP, I need you to hit 33, nigga." So was that what he was saying in those type of in that type of language? Do you consider that not to be demeaning? Let me know. And how does the NBA come to that conclusion? So they say, look, man, we're only going to suspend you for 1 year for your racist ass, and we're going to suspend Donald Sterling, ban him for life just because that video got out, whereas you did all your dirt and it didn't get out, but we caught your ass. That's basically what it boils down to. What's your thoughts on this? NBA owner, another one getting caught. Former baseball owners getting caught. Former NBA basketball owners getting caught. Man, this is my thoughts on it, man. As I think about how they continuously come out and treat you as just what you are. You just a player. You just they're black gold, I should say. And the reason why I say black gold is because um, you bring in their wealth. The black athlete brings in their wealth. You are their $1 million slave. $1 million Slave, a book that I encourage y'all all to check out by William Rhodes, former ESPN author, former ESPN sports analysis that you haven't seen on the show probably in 10 years or more. But I would say get the book $1 Million Slave, get your head in there, get it, find out what was going on, all the way back, going back to the Negro Leagues, all the way going back to uh, Mr. Pollard's NFL when we had a black football league. And of course, they came and stole our athletes, offering them more riches. And, of course, people, should we call it a sellout? They sell themselves out to go get the big money, or is it a business decision? I'll let you decide that. But they always come for our athletes, and we just make them rich. Look at the television contracts over the last 10 years. Look at today's contracts. Look at the NBA's guaranteed contracts. NFL's trying to get there as well. NFL ownership is blocking it. And I believe that if you're going to play in the NFL, you do deserve to have guaranteed contracts. But their rebuttal is that in the NFL, depending on which position you play, typically the lifespan of that position is only about 3 years. They say the NFL lifespan for an NFL running back is 3 years, 4 years tops. If you get past 4 years as an NFL running back, make a couple Pro Bowls, build you up over 8,000, 9,000 yards rushing, you may have an NFL career, Hall of Fame career. How many guys make it to 8,000? That's kind of a low number. But with only a 3-year NFL span, a lot of running backs didn't make it, you know. And big shout out to Stunted Growth uh video podcast that talks about former NBA players that, fell off. They just didn't get to have that career that was projected. They need to do that with NFL is also. So I just want to shoot out to the podcasters over there. All of us in this podcast world, we support one another because we are the new media. So everything that's coming out as far as a narrative, it's coming from us, man. We don't care about them old cats, man. Them old cats done messed the game up. They talk about people and do all of that, and there's no repercussion on their end, you know. And yeah, I believe in fair journalism, but I don't feel like you should really be disrespecting the man, unless if he wears that tag of disrespecting the culture, then yeah, then we point it out. But we also got to remember as new media that it's just a sport, man. These people got families and children to live to, so you got to watch your mouth. And so that's why we created a a podcast, a home for all of our people, and that's Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show. We like to go ahead and control our own narratives here. We like to go ahead and make sure that our flavor is being shared throughout the world in a positive intent and not have some old news, sports news, try to make us look bad for the whole world like they have been. So continue to support Coffee Talk Podcast Wednesday Night Sports. But when I started to think about Robert Scarver, when I started to think about Donald Sterling, and I forgot the lady, man, that was she on the Philadelphia Phillies, I want to say. Now I could be wrong, but there was a situation with some allegations about her as well. I'm not gonna put that on her right now though, because I don't got her name and I ain't did all of my homework. But I'm just, just stating. But how about the Tennessee Titans? Yeah, the Tennessee Titans pass on her, man. Uh, had a lot of very racial overtones throughout his ownership of the Tennessee Titans. He has now passed on. Look that name up if you're interested in knowing a little bit about that story in the Tennessee Titans. But yeah, man, these owners don't really give a damn, man. You are their black gold. You create their wealth, so they don't really care for you, and they will show you. When a man got $1 billion, he don't give a damn about saying nothing. And so two things actually came to my mind just thinking about the story. One, when they said Robert Scarver was creating sexual inappropriate comments in the office, you know who came to my mind? Donald Trump. And what came to my mind about Donald Trump was when he said, grab him by the pussy. Excuse our language for our elderly viewers that support and watch our show. But that's what he said. Grab him by the pussy. See, when you get to be a billionaire, man, and you control so much, and people lobby, and you can send your lobbyists out to change different laws and all kind of and infrastructure and so forth. Money don't soften you. Money makes you more aggressive, especially when you're dealing with people that don't have money or they depend on it. You start to see the true character of a person. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump was trying to get in the NFL and become an owner for some years before becoming president of the United States, and they kept rejecting it. You got the Donald Sterlings, now the Robert Scarvers, you know. And as I did more research on this tonight, I started to think about 1999 NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. One of my favorite players throughout college and pro, power forward from UNLV, Charlotte Hornets with Alonzo Mourning, and the New York Knicks with Allen Houston and Patrick Ewing. I start to think about the great legend Larry Johnson, aka Grandma Ma. And Grandma Ma said in the NBA Finals in 1999, he said, "We got a lot of rebellious slaves on this team, And a sports announcer said, "Why you say that?" He said, "Because I got to explain it to you. I got to explain it to you. I got it." He said, "I got to explain that to you. We don't go with the mainstream." And that's why we love Larry Johnson, man. Even though Larry Johnson was mainstream as far as his commercials, he was an NBA player. He put on the dress because they called him Grandmama. You know, back during that time, it was more looked at um as acting. It wasn't so sinister, and maybe it was to see a black man in a suit. I mean, in a skirt or a dress. Now that we think about it, 22 years later, Larry Johnson hit it right on the nose. We got billionaires right now: Kanye West, um, Rihanna, Jay Z, Oprah Winfrey, who you don't hear much about anymore because we done turned our backs on her. She didn't support no black males, but they're all billionaires. And the Puff Daddies are half a billion. Why don't we create our own leagues? The LeBron James. We don't need the NBA anymore. But what comes to my mind when I say that is I start to think about that black card. What black card? Yeah, that black card that is given out to entertainers and athletes that has their money on it. And I tend to ask myself, is it really even their money? Is it ever their money? Yeah, they have all the cars. Yeah, they live in these big, luxurious compounds. But are those homes or compounds? And if you have a compound is something that you are confined in. You live behind a gate. Family can't come and see you without ringing a buzzer, going through a guard. I remember when T.I., the rapper, tried to go home and he was going through his gated community and he was stopped. Yeah. So is it really a home when you got to check in to your compound? Larry Johnson said we need to form our own league, man. We've had leagues before, the Negro Leagues baseball, which created great players such as Satchel Paige. We are the creators of hockey. Yeah, we are the creators of hockey. But you don't hear that much. I need you to go research that. Go research where hockey actually came from. I know we're gonna give you flavor here at Coffee Talk Podcast. We are the creators of the sports that we dominate. Oh, you can say, well, in the NBA, this guy from the YMCA created the NBA basketball, but they didn't perfect it. When they were shooting what through a peach ball. We need to create our own leagues. This past summer, I was doing a lot of watching the African Basketball League. And in another 2, 3 years, that league is really going to take off, man. Right now, they got the height, they got the size, they play good ball, and it's just going to get better. And I recommend that you guys support that league, man. Check it out. But why do we continue to go out here and work so hard only to get ridiculed? And when that happens, I say this, man, y'all get y'all's money. Some people gonna talk about, hey, Lamar Jackson, he didn't go ahead and sign that contract that he's asking for. He's asking for what, 200+ million guaranteed, or supposedly he turned down 180. So he elected to play in his final season with the Baltimore Ravens this year. And lo and behold, we want to make sure that our man's Lamar Jackson stays healthy throughout the year, so he can get that big check that he's looking for to to set up generational wealth for him and his family. I said this earlier as we were talking. It was a saying that was from the movie. I forgot the movie. Players Club, actually, where the lady stated, she said, "Don't let the money make you. You make that money. Don't let the money make you." So I applaud LeBron James for being the first player to make $1 billion playing basketball. I applaud my brothers for getting these guaranteed contracts. I applaud my old players, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, all the brothers that used their blood, sweat, and tears and wasn't really getting nothing in comparison to what the athletes getting today. Probably like 5 people, man, got that money back then. DC, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, Allen Houston, Grandmama Larry Johnson, Michael Jordan at the tail end of his career. But them last 2, 3 years, he was hitting them all for 36, 37, and $38 million a year. People were crying about that. But I feel like if you're gonna be the black gold to these owners that really don't give a damn about you, get your money, man. We need to start thinking about our own leagues. Larry Johnson said in the 1999 NBA Finals between the New York Knicks and the Spurs, he said, "Black people, you're focusing on the wrong thing. We should be focusing on having our own team, our own league. We need to do for self." That's what Larry Johnson said. And that's why he's in our Hall of Fame here at Coffee Talk Podcast Sports Edition. We love to keep it real around here, man. So, with that being said, let us know what your thoughts are on Robert Scarver, age 60, with a net worth of $80 million, Phoenix Suns owner, and the allegations of him um, having uh, a workplace environment that makes it uncomfortable for his employees. The sexual inappropriate comments, the racist language, the bullying. He receives a 1-year suspension and $10 million. And the only reason Adam Silver states as commissioner of the NBA is that Scarver helped along with the investigation. I wonder if Scarver was just saying, "Please, please don't Donald Sterling me, man. Mwah, mwah, let me kiss your ass. Mwah, mwah. Please don't do the Donald Sterling to me." Donald Sterling banned for life and fined $2.5 million. Let us know what your thoughts are on the NBA, the NBA ownership. Let me know what your thoughts are with Dak Prescott injuring his arm or his hand actually on the pass with the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be out for about 4 to 6 weeks. You got a brother by the name of Colin Kaepernick out there that may be able to win you some games still. Why we not creating our own league? Go ahead and leave a comment. Definitely share. Definitely hit the like button. And remember, if you watched it this far, go ahead and subscribe, man. It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. Go ahead and continue to support the show, Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast. And I want to say this: we appear 3 nights a week. We have alternate weekends. So on Sunday and Monday, we give you Cultural Studies Night. On Wednesday, we bring you what we're bringing you tonight, our sports coverage. And no, we don't care about who won the game. We like to go behind the scenes and tell you what's going on with our athletes in the world of sports. And then on Friday and Saturday, we get together, we have fun, we have guests, we play 10-question Q&A, and we just have a good time on a Friday, Saturday evening. So if you are a person that doesn't like to go out to bars and whatever, this is your show. Go ahead and tune in. We're usually here for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour top shows, and you definitely will get the flavor. I am your host. I thank you for stopping by Coffee Talk Podcast. And again, as you know, I am your host, Yeshua Saba M. Saba. 'cause I told you all right in the five. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with the universal peace sign. Thank you for tuning into our sports show. Let us know what your thoughts are on Robert Scarver, the NBA, the NFL, and whatever else you might add that has to do with sports. We out of here.